Hi, I'm Amy Hannon, and nothing thrills me more than people and food. I'm a preacher's wife, a mom of 3, and I own my own specialty kitchen store. I've kept an open door and a well-stocked fridge, which means I have fed a lot of mouths over the years. So welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hello, look who I have with me today. I have Holly Thomas.
Hi.
She is the domestic housewife on Instagram, and she is my sweet, sweet friend. She actually is married to one of the boys who used to be in our youth ministry like a million years ago, and he is all cute and grown up, and he is cute.
I think so too.
And they have beautiful babies, and she is a stay-at-home mom, and she works out of her kitchen and makes the most unbelievable cookies you have ever seen in your life.
You're sweet.
But they're great.
Well, thank you.
They're great.
Thanks.
She has 90,000 Instagram followers because her cookies are that pretty. And so what we're going to do today, we're not going to make the cookies because that's a little lofty for today. But I have a really, really easy cupcake recipe. And because Holly is the queen of frosting all things, she is going to show us how to pipe. What are you piping? Flowers?
I'll pipe I'll pipe flowers. I'll give you 3 different ways to pipe a cupcake.
3 different ways to pipe a cupcake. I've never held a piping bag in my hand in my whole life because I really cook more or make like big desserts. So we've got all kinds of fancy like tips and piping bags, right?
I'll show you how to.
She's going to do it. So for everybody who feels like me that you could never do this, I don't know if I can either, but we're going to see. She says we can. Okay. So what we're going to do today is start with just a cake mix, this really, really easy cupcake recipe. And I really, truly believe in a classic white cake mix by Duncan Hines. Euna, my grandmother, swore by Duncan Hines. And so I just stick to that because that's what she taught me, and she knows all things. So what we're going to start with in your mixer, and you could also do this with a hand mixer as well, we're going to dump the cake mix. Got that?
Got it.
And then this is a 3.3 ounce, just a small box of white chocolate instant pudding. And we're going to dump that in there, and I'll throw that away. And then Holly's going to actually separate our eggs. You just want the whites of 4 large eggs, and they need to be room temperature. That's super important so that when we mix it in the mixer, that it will actually get a little bit of air in there. When they're room temperature, they can get a little bit loftier, and that's what we want. So Holly is going to separate those. So we have our, let's see, we did our cake mix, our pudding mix, and we want to add 3 tablespoons of just white flour, regular old flour. And are you nervous about getting shells in there while you're on TV?
No, I think I've got this down.
Okay. Oh gosh. How many eggs do you think you've cracked in your life?
I don't even know. I don't think I could count.
Do you make cookies every night of your life? Because it looks like on Instagram that you're
Most.
always making cookies.
Most. I've got a good system down. If I don't get behind.
Yes, and you actually need to follow Holly on Instagram because you want her cookies in your life. You do. And there's a whole thing about how to order them, and you need to really steady up on there. She has a flash sale and all that. It's super special. It's special, and they're not just always available. So if you're always asking online about how do I get cookies, this you need to know. And you can tell us a little more about that later.
I will.
Okay, so we have our eggs, our egg whites, and our dry. So you actually can turn that on. And I like to put my dry ingredients in the mixer on low, just to kind of give them a little whir and get those mixed in really well. Okay, and then we're going to add a cup of oil. Add a cup of oil, and then this is a cup of water and a half a cup of whole milk, and I just put it in the same cup for time's sake. Holly's making a mess. That's part of it. Part of it. Baking especially is messy if you ask me.
It's true.
Do you want to eyeball a teaspoon? And that's Euna May's vanilla that we love. Okay, and then we want to let that just keep going a little bit. So we want to make sure that that looks nice and smooth.
Pretty.
Ooh, it smells good. I'm a vanilla girl. Are you a vanilla girl or chocolate girl?
Much. Vanilla.
I'm vanilla.
Yes.
I put all my people in the world in categories. They're either vanilla people or chocolate people. And I'm a vanilla person. I think I've told you before, my husband is a chocolate person.
But
You're
I like chocolate too, so.
just sweets in general.
Yes.
Sweets in
Yes.
general. Okay, so we've got that going. Now let's just dump in our room temperature eggs. Yep. And then we want to do a little pinch of salt. And instead of a pinch, I'm just going to give it a little, that's my little cooking
That
mill.
smells good.
Okay, and then let's kick that up to high. Not high, 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 but like maybe yeah. And we want to do that for about 1.5 minutes so that it just gets air in there. And then what we've got next is, yeah, wipe your mess.
Got it.
Wait till we get the powdered sugar in here. Powdered sugar is going to be everywhere.
messy,
It's already
yes.
even on our navy. I don't know who wears navy to
I know.
the powdered sugar.
I'm just the guest, so.
She's the guest. Okay, so we're gonna let that mix. And what we've got here, Holly has already lined these cupcake tins. And while we're away, we're actually gonna spray these with a little bit of cooking spray, and we're gonna fill these. Only about a half full, so that when they bake perfectly flush, and we're gonna stick them in a 350-degree oven for a few minutes. And we'll get going on all of that, and when you come back, we're gonna frost these cupcakes. This is cooking today.
Iced tea, sponsored by Lipton.
Hi, we're back, and I've got Holly Thomas in the kitchen with me today. She's the domestic housewife on Instagram. You need to be sure to follow her. It's going to change your life. She's got the best cookies in the world.
You're sweet.
She says that, but they're serious, like for real, they're the best cookies in the world. We are making cupcakes. So we've actually already done our easy cupcake mix, and we filled them only about halfway. This actual recipe only makes 20, even though your muffin cup has 24 holes. So we just filled 20. We've got them in the oven baking already, and we're gonna hear them beep shortly, and we'll get those out. But right now, Holly's gonna share with us her, what do you call it, classic?
Probably just a classic white icing.
Just a classic white icing. This is not a buttercream, which that's all I've ever really known. I'm not a great frosting maker. I only have one recipe for it. And so this is Holly's way, and I cannot wait for you to see what's in this. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so you go. Like, tell me
So
what's...
this is my favorite go-to white icing. You can use it for cakes, cupcakes, cookies, you know, the double doozy chocolate chip
I love
cookies.
double
This
doozies.
is perfect
Okay.
for inside those. So you take 8 cups of powdered sugar.
Do you put it all in at one time?
You do. You start with this.
You need me to move the whisk?
No, you're good.
You're good. You've
Yeah,
done this
I
6,000
have. I've
times.
done it a
Okay.
million times. And if you want to make a smaller batch, you can use 4 cups of powdered sugar and half this recipe. But this will frost your whole 20 or probably 2 dozen cupcakes. So get all
With
this
enough
in
room
there.
for some licks.
That's right, of course. Or, you know, you could save your leftover and make some chocolate chip cookies and put this in the middle of those.
Do you really like store that? Can you put
Oh
it in the
yeah,
refrigerator?
you can store it, and mine doesn't last around my house very long.
Right.
But yeah, you can store it, cover it up, and put it in the refrigerator and
And
make
then
some
would you
cookies.
have to bring it like to room temperature before you frosted it again,
You
or does it
wouldn't
stay
have
pretty
to.
soft?
It stays pretty soft.
Okay.
But I always pull it out when I'm making my cookies or whatever, so by the time I use it, it's room temp.
Ready to go. Okay,
So-
awesome.
And then you want to help me? You want to do one of these?
Oh
2
my
cups of shortening.
This is the biggest surprise to me of all.
Is it?
Yes, shortening.
Everything's better with shortening.
Well, yes.
if you're
I
not going to use
agree.
butter, the next
Then
best thing.
Crisco.
That's right.
You do
Stick
it.
it in
You
there.
wanna do it?
No, you got it.
I'm nervous.
No, you're good.
Because, you know, powdered sugar, did you see it? It is
Yes.
unruly, and it
Yes.
just goes everywhere.
It does. And yes, you definitely, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to this. I might add a little bit more, up to 2 teaspoons. But when
Love
you
vanilla.
start this, oh, me too. When you start this, you want to start it on its lowest setting
Yes.
because you'll end up with a face full of powdered sugar.
Or a navy dress.
Or yes, or your navy dress. We've cleaned my dress a few times. I'm going to put about 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream in here, give or take. I like a firm icing, not too runny because it looks prettier when you pipe it onto a cupcake.
Probably stands up a little better
It does.
if we're making
it
some
does.
pretty
yes.
things.
If it's too runny, it'll just fall and kind of be squishy.
And if you need it, I guess you can always add a little more of that, right?
You can, and I'll do that. It's better to add less and have to come back and add more into it
I say
than
that.
to put
I say that.
too much in it. You can't
Yep.
take it out, but you can always put more
I say
in.
that.
So
So smart.
we will start it on low. And like I said, don't make sure you start it on the lowest speed.
Do you use that?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
The shield?
Yes,
I have
this.
one.
For this.
I should have gotten it.
But it's okay if you watch it.
Like we're inhaling
good.
powdered sugar. It's in my mouth. Here, I'll play the mask.
See, I'm going to add some more whipping cream.
Yeah.
Because I can kind of tell it's just a little
You can hear
too
how
dry.
the mixer sound changes.
Yeah. Speed it up just a tiny bit. And as the ingredients incorporate, you can speed up your mixer a little bit. It won't poof the powdered sugar.
I love frosting so much.
You're going to love this.
Wait, do you say frosting or do you say icing?
I would say this is frosting. Now, if I was talking about cookies,
So would you?
I would say
Yeah, we
icing.
need to figure that out because I don't
Yeah.
know what I say. I think I say them interchangeably.
yeah, I mean, I use both, but
We
I would
should
say
Google that. Maybe we'll know when we come back what
Yeah.
the difference is. Because icing maybe is smoother. Like
yes.
maybe it would be one that would like
Yes. Smooth and be flat.
yeah maybe that.
Frosting, I think of as like a poofy and on a cake or cupcake. Now, I let this beat for quite a while because you want to get rid of all the little powdered sugar clumps. I don't
Do
like
you
the
ever
clumpy
sift
icing.
all that? You would never sift all that.
No.
It would take you a
if
long
you
time.
beat it long enough, you'll get rid of all
Okay.
of that.
Oh, it's yum. It smells awesome.
Smell good? You're going to grab a spatula and we'll clean the sides.
Like this, like a
that's perfect.
scraper.
Yeah, that's perfect. Sometimes I'll lift up the bowl and just to make sure we don't get any clumpy
And
lumps.
Holly has like one of the big fancy mixers, like a commercial mixer, because she does. How many cookies do you
All the
really?
time.
Have you ever figured it out?
No, but I do
You've never
a lot.
tried. You've never really tried to figure out how many you've made.
No.
Take a guess.
Thousands and
Like
thousands.
thousands.
Thousands, yes.
More than thousands.
Yes.
I bet you've made more than 10,000 cookies.
Yes, I
Because
would say
for
yes.
she's done a pop-up shop every once in a while at Una's, and you brought 500 or 600
I think I
cookies
brought
just
600
to that.
there, yeah.
It's so fun.
Typically, if I do something like that, I bring about 1,000.
Can you even imagine? Okay, we're gonna keep this mixing. When we come back, the cupcakes are gonna come out of the oven. We'll get them cooled, and then we're gonna color this frosting and show you some really fun piping tips. This is Cooking Today. We're so glad to be in the kitchen today with my friend Holly Thomas, who is the domestic housewife on Instagram. I've actually already gotten some cooled cupcakes made that we actually made really, really easily from a boxed cake mix. And this is time for the fun stuff. Holly is actually going to show us how to color that frosting that we just made and do a piping bag. I've never held a piping bag in my life. She's going to do the work. I'm going to watch. And then show us the magic. I can't
Okay.
wait to see.
This is the fun part. We're going to add some color.
Okay.
With these gel colors, I use gel colors. I use the Wilton. It's a new
What does that
line.
mean? Gel colors.
It's usually, like a food dye is the drops.
Yes.
That's kind of probably all you know.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Just whatever I get at the
But-
regular grocery.
Gel is kind of what they're all going to now. It's not so runny and it gives a more vibrant,
It's like
full
saturated?
color.
Okay.
Yes, and you can make the
I
prettiest
used a
colors.
whole bottle of blue regular food coloring one time trying to get Harbor
Yes.
High School blue.
Yes.
And it went grayer and gray.
Yes.
And the more blue I added,
Yes.
the worse it got.
These
Okay.
drops
Good
go
to
a
know.
long way. So I'm just going to add a couple drops.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And we can mix it up, and if we want something darker, we can add a few more, but you'll be really surprised at how quickly
It's
this-
really pretty.
I think we could do a light pretty pink. And like I said, if you want to go darker, add a few more.
That's elbow
drops.
grease because it's thick.
Yes. It's thick, but it's not so thick that it's not hard to mix and
Right.
get your color.
Right.
So, and you don't want
Hey,
runny
where do I
icing.
get this?
You can get it at Michael's food stores.
Yes.
That's where I got mine.
Okay.
So they're starting to bring it in. I think Walmart's starting to carry it, but I know for a fact that Michael's is one of the first
Okay.
to start carrying it. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I use.
I love the tricks.
The piping bags is what I use. You cut off the tip. Just a little bit. Just enough to where you make sure that your tip is going to show out the end of the
Okay.
bag.
And you get these little piping bags, all of this in like the baker, like the
Yeah,
bakery
Walmart,
section.
Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use a 1M tip, and that might sound silly to anybody that doesn't decorate, but if you go looking for a tip, there's all different sizes. You want to make sure you get a 1M. That will give you this look.
Totally thought that went on the outside of the piping bag.
It can.
I'm
There are
embarrassed by
different.
that.
Well, you can go and you can buy a bag, and you can buy an inside fitting and an outside fitting.
But this is what you like.
This is
You went down into the inside.
simple
Okay.
and easy and a lot less trouble. So I put my tip in, and we've mixed our icing, and I'm going to put my icing onto some saran wrap
Why?
because typically people would just put the icing straight into the bag.
Which is what I would think.
Okay, and it is so messy.
Okay.
I mean, and you end up having to clean those bags, and it's hard work, and it's really time consuming. So if you put it in some saran wrap, you can just kind of wrap it up.
Looks like cotton candy.
Yes, doesn't it look good? Fun. And then you can cut the tip off of this
That is so smart.
and then stick it in your bag. And
You've
when
done
you're
this. She's
when
done
you're-
this like
a few
1,000
times.
times.
So when you're done, you don't have that big mess to clean up.
Now, did you just figure that out yourself, or did you like just learn that from?
I did, and now it's become a thing that a lot of decorators are using because
It's smart.
it's so easy.
What do we
So,
need to get?
Do we want to start with our
Yes.
first?
What are you
cupcake?
gonna do? What do you want to do?
I'll show you guys how to make just a classic rosette swirl. So fun, so easy.
I knew she was gonna say easy. I'm so nervous about this.
It
I
is,
just think I
and
don't have the skill for this
Maybe
at
you
all.
need to try one.
Well, no, we'll see.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'll show you guys a little trick. If you will start right from the center of your cupcake, you want to keep like a really steady pressure, and you just work in either clockwise or counterclockwise, slow and steady.
Wins the race. That's what my friend
That's
says.
right. Slow and steady wins the race. And then when you get right here to the end, just release your pressure, and you have got.
Okay, mine would
Really
never
pretty
look
rosette.
like that. Mine would never look like that.
Okay, but the key is your tip. The tip makes the pretty rose.
It's lovely. Okay, let's do another one.
Okay.
Do another one. So this is a rosette tip.
Yes, ma'am. And it's so fun because
Can y'all see this? I don't know if you can see. We want to scoot that up a little bit.
perfect. When you have that white icing and you can color it all different colors, and it's so pretty to do a bunch of these in all different colors and stick them on a platter.
And you could
Looks really
probably learn this
fancy.
tip. And couldn't you put this on like a cake? I mean, you could
Yes.
you could put that on the top of a cookie. You
Yes.
could put it on a cake.
This is
You
what I
could
use
kind of
on
like,
my-
Right,
yes.
it looks kind of like kind of almost looks like those bakery flowers that you get, when you buy like a pretty cake at the bakery.
Yes.
And it's covered in those pretty flowers. It kind of looks like that.
And it's super pretty on
I
a
just want to
chocolate
eat one
chip cookie.
so bad
For chocolate chip cookies.
with
it's-
icing.
Yes,
It's
if
like
you
a
just make
doozy.
round cookies.
Those
looks
are
really pretty
beautiful.
on a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, that one's my favorite so far. Look at
Is
this one.
it?
Can you see? I don't know if you can see, but that's beautiful. It's perfect.
And I get to where I use, 2 or 3 different shades of icing in one rose, and that looks
And
really,
I'm a
pretty.
nonpareil girl. I love sprinkles so much; they make me
Yeah.
happy. So you could probably even dust those
Oh,
with like some
yes.
glitter, like that
Yes.
pretty, like sparkly, edible glitter would be
Yes.
great. We thought this would be fun for you to learn how to do because a lot of us want to do something kind of special, maybe for birthday cakes or cupcakes, for our kids' parties, or just your
Girlfriend's
girlfriend's
lunch.
girlfriend's lunch or girls' night out.
Yeah.
And I've
it's
been
quick.
super intimidated by that.
But see, it's not
beautiful.
It's not
Okay.
intimidating.
It's
See?
knowing this, I think makes all the difference. Don't you think that it's
But this
really
makes
in the
it
tip?
easy.
It probably just
does.
takes some time.
It does. It does.
And I saw one time they did a little practice run so you don't mess your cupcakes up, mess your cupcakes up.
Yeah.
That you can like practice on like a sheet of
Oh,
like
yeah.
foil or
I do that all the time.
just
with
to
my
kind of get
writing.
your practice down so that you don't ruin one of your cupcakes because you don't want to do that. You could mess up a cupcake and then just lick the top off. I
yes,
would.
you could. Yes, you could.
But I wouldn't serve it to anybody. I'd end up eating the whole thing. Oh, those are
look how
beautiful.
pretty that
Okay,
looks.
so Holly actually has a couple of other. Oh, look! Oh, it's
So
so
we can switch this tip out,
Okay,
and I'll show you. I'm going to grab a few more cupcakes,
Yes, let's do a
and
couple
I
more.
can show you a couple of other easy.
okay. I'm gonna get a couple of these cupcakes out, and Holly's gonna switch the tip over on this so we can get a different little. I don't know. What do you call it? What are we gonna
Design?
do now? Just a
Design?
different design. And so when we come back, we're going to show you 2 more, and one of them is really, really fun. It's like
Super
double
fun.
up dessert. We'll see you in a minute. We're wrapping up today. We've had Holly Thomas, the domestic housewife, in here showing us how to make beautiful cupcakes. And we have, in the break, we actually have, she has piped this beautiful swirl, and she's going to finish showing us how to make this pretty swirl for these cupcakes right here.
Okay, we mixed a really pretty blue. Amy picked the blue.
Una Mae's blue.
Yes, and I will have to say, if you use these gels, you just have to use a teeny tiny bit.
Okay, this is my favorite tip. Look where she starts.
Start in the middle of your cupcake. A lot of people start on the outside, but by starting in the middle, it fills that empty space. Move counter or clockwise. Just make a swirl, release your presser, and you've got a really pretty
Isn't that beautiful?
swirled cupcake.
Oh, I just think those are so pretty. I love how tall that is.
Yes, And that's why it's important to start in the middle, because if you don't, you'll kind of end up with a collapsed.
Oh, it's like a
cupcake.
support system. It's
Exactly.
like a frosting support
Exactly.
system.
We'll do this
Beautiful. And this is
last
with
layer.
that, what kind of tip is this?
This, I think this is a 1A. I'll double check that.
And it's just the round one. It didn't have the little
No, it doesn't have the
zigzag
little
on the
spikes.
bottom.
Yes, this is a 1A.
Beautiful.
This is a Wilton.
Okay, and then we're gonna do these fun. These are the fun ones. Look
Yes,
at this.
these are the fun ones. So I'm using the 1A tip also on these, and I'm going to show you the same technique, but we're going to leave these pretty flat. We're not going to go up with them.
Just in a circle
just in
and
a
kind of
circle.
mash as you go, I guess, right?
That's right. So,
Well, not mash,
but yes, you're right. Keep it flat. And it's important that you keep it flat, and we will show you why.
This is so fun. You have to have beautiful cookies
So.
to do this, though. You have to order them from Holly.
That's right. So once you've gotten your icing flat, you take a decorated cookie,
Aren't they cute?
put a little topper on it.
Look at that.
Or we'll get one of the other designs.
Are those precious? Look, I love
Pretty.
them. Oh, my word.
And the possibilities are endless with those. You could make any color icing, any shape cookie, birthdays,
Everything.
Valentine's Day, everything.
They're beautiful. Aren't they amazing? Look at all this. Oh, my goodness. Don't you wish you were here to snack on this? We have had so much fun with Holly in the kitchen today, haven't we? She's a treat.
Thank you for
And-
having me.
Oh my
It's been a
goodness,
blast.
it was so fun. We love having her here. This is beautiful. Don't be afraid to try these at home. I'm gonna try it. I'm scared to try, but we're gonna give it our best shot. And the good news is it's gonna taste delicious at the end. You'll love every bite. This is Cooking Today.
Groceries provided by Harps, Hometown Fresh. Kitchenware is provided by Euna Mays.